Good afternoon and welcome to GP Video Podcast by Nadia. As you guys know that we've been talking about medicinal cannabis in the last few video podcasts and we shall continue with that. So today let's talk quickly about the ways to take medicinal cannabis. So in the previous video podcasts we have decided that there are two components of medicinal cannabis or two parts of cannabis plant that are currently used widely as medicinal cannabis, which are THC and CBD. And now so THC is the one which is the most abundant and the psychoactive part of the plant, while CBD is the second most abundant, non-toxic and non-psychoactive part of the component of the medicinal cannabis or the cannabis plant. Now, what are the ways to take medicinal cannabis, both THC and CBD, either separately or in combination? What are the ways? So number one is inhalation. Inhalation means either smoking or vaping or vaporizing. Number two is oral ingestion. So ingestion would include oil, capsules and edibles. Number three is topical. Like topically we can use it as well. But the two main routes of administration are inhalation or ingestion. Now, inhalation again includes two ways that I said. One is smoking or vaping. So in inhalation, the thing is that it starts working in 10 minutes because of course you are inhaling the product. So it starts working in 10 minutes, reaches its peak in 20 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. So starts working in 10 minutes, reaches its peak in 20 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. And 50% of cannabinoid content from the plant reaches bloodstream because you are inhaling it. So it goes through the inhalation pathway and reaches the bloodstream. 50% of it reaches the bloodstream. In oral form or ingestion form, it starts working in 60 minutes as compared to inhalation, which starts working in 10 minutes. Reaches its peak in 4 hours, while the inhalation pathway reaches its peak in 20 minutes. But this one, the ingestion one, lasts up to 6 hours, while the inhalation one lasts up to 4 hours. And only 20% of cannabinoid content from the plant reaches bloodstream in the oral form, because as you know that it has to go through the GIT, gastrointestinal tract first, and then gets absorbed in the blood, while the one from the inhalation pathway gets directly absorbed in the blood. Okay, now if we talk about what is the better way, is it inhalation or is it ingestion? Though inhalation is very good in the sense that it starts working straight away and then it reaches its peak like readily in 20 minutes and then lasts up to 4 hours. But the problem is that both smoking and vaping, though vaping is much better than smoking, but both smoking and vaping can cause lung damage at some stage. So that's why we just say that ingestion or the oral part of medicinal cannabis is better than the smoking or vaping or inhalation part. So as I said that the other thing is because it goes in very quickly, the inhalation one. So if, for example, you have high amount of THC in the product, then you are going to experience more side effects. So, but in ingestion one, what happens is that there is a steady state release. So it is more beneficial for chronic pain. So for example, it's going to last up to 6 hours. So it's going to be more beneficial for chronic pain in terms of ingestion. And as I said that vaping versus smoking, which is the inhalation part, due to less exposure to toxic chemicals, vaping is much better than smoking. So again, I think we are getting a bit too much over here, but in this video podcast, what we are discussing is the only thing that we are discussing in this video podcast is what are the ways of taking medicinal cannabis. Okay, so medicinal cannabis, as we know that cannabis is a plant and there are two products which are derived from the medicinal cannabis plant, which are used for different medical conditions that we will talk about later in some other video podcast. So the two medicinal cannabis products are THC and CBD. Both of them can be either used separately or can be used in combination. And as I said earlier in my previous video podcasts that in combination they work the best for any medical condition. And so now, what are the ways to take these products? There are 3 ways to take these products. One is inhalation. The other one is ingestion, eating, and number 3 is topical. Okay, so inhalation includes either vaporizing or smoking. Ingestion includes either through oil, like a syrup, or edibles, or soft gel capsules. Okay, so when we compare inhalation with ingestion, inhalation is a much quicker way to obtain the product in our body, and much quicker way to start, and much more higher concentration of the product in our body. But the side effect is because we are inhaling it in, like, if we use it for a longer period of time, and then if there are toxins in the inhalation which are there in the smoking form, and a bit of it in the vaporizing form as well. So what happens is that there are possible side effects of lung damage after a long time, or if there are more toxins, then even in a short period of time as well. While in ingestion, there are no lung side effects. Okay, so ingestion is better than inhalation, no respiratory side effects, and ingesting or eating cannabis lasts longer. Though inhaling it starts working much quicker, but ingesting cannabis, the one that we take orally, lasts longer, and it's better for chronic pain. And even in ingestion, oil is the best as compared to edibles and soft gel capsules, because oil is like a syrup, and in syrup, dosing can be monitored, and it minimizes risk of overconsumption and side effects of excess THC as intoxicant. As we said that previously, that THC is the one which can be in excess quantities, and in non-refined quantities it can work as intoxicating agent. So in the oil, it is better because we can monitor, like in syrup, we can monitor the dosing, and also minimize the side effects of excess THC. We'll talk about what conditions we can use CBD and THC in tomorrow.